Well, let's see here. I might not be Morgan Freeman, but this is... Classic Gamer Reviews.
Bobble was originally a platformer game, but success in the arcade led to many sequels, spin-offs, and ports. And who would have thought that one of those ports would land on the Commodore 64? But that ain't what we talking about! Bobble for the Nintendo has you controlling either Bub or Bob, two dragons that can blow bubbles, because that's what dragons do? Sounds right to me! You beat a level when you kill every enemy, and as you navigate the game's 100 plus levels, you'll run into a wide variety of enemies who want to bump into you in order to kill you, as says the Holy Book of Platforming. Normally, you'd be helpless and defenseless against these attacks, except you can defend yourself by trapping enemies in bubbles and then simultaneously popping them with the spikes on your back. However, if you're not able to pop an enemy in time, then watch out, because they'll go fucking apeshit. In fact, for better or for worse, that's an overall theme in the game. Everything just going absolutely apeshit. I say that because in the time I played this game, there were a few times in which I felt very overwhelmed as there was a plethora of things going on the screen. But to the game's credit, it never seemed to slow things down. The amount of things on the screen, while impressive, didn't come without its faults, as sometimes, amidst all the confusion, you'd get items that you didn't even want in the first place, like the umbrella that makes you skip a bunch of levels. Oh wow, look at all those neat levels! Oh, yeah, no, I didn't want to play them anyway. Sometimes, though, you'll find items that you really do want, like the crucifix, which is a fantastic item, mainly because it summons the holy power of divine Christ to smite your enemies! When you do smite your enemies, you get food, which gives you points. You get better food and therefore more points when you kill a lot of enemies in succession. And being rewarded for killing never has any downside. For fuck's sake, I got a carrot lodged into my skull! How does that even happen? One enemy you don't have to worry about getting points from is this dude, because he can't kill him. He'll spawn when you spend too much time on a level, and towards the end of the game, that time in which it takes for him to spawn shortens by a lot. His arrival is prompted by a musical cue and every enemy going crazy, at which point he'll then arrive and he won't leave until you either beat the level or die. My favorite thing is how when he does manage to kill you, the music just returns to normal, like everything's back the way it was and nothing's changed. But no, everything's changed. Nothing will ever be the same. Usually, however, he's not that big of a problem, as he doesn't move around too much, and you can finish the level with him up and about anyway, at which point you feel like a beast. Yeah, fuck you, ghost thingy, I won! And while besting an invincible enemy makes you feel awesome, the level design in this game will make you and everyone around you feel happy and smile. Except the dragon, he walks around with a derp face. The levels range from recognizable shapes, I'm one letter away from sex, to words or phrases, but each level still maintains what it is, a level in a video game. Levels aren't added for gimmick, most are very well made, with a few of the levels forcing you to think on how to use the items provided to kill hard to reach enemies. Enemy placement is also for the most part really well done in this game, as each level places the enemies in great spots, although each level does have them entered in the same cult-like fashion, deploying themselves one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll stomp your ass into the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8, then we'll sit on you and masturbate. Wait, what? Most of the times, this is done really well to create memorable levels, but other times, it's one of the game's very few weak points. When the level and enemy placement don't seem to agree with each other, then the game can quickly become a mess. It seems that in one level you can jump through the blocks, but in others you can't jump through them. And then there's some levels where you just fall through the blocks entirely. I know some levels implement invisible passages, but it just doesn't work in this game. However, after playing a few rounds, you'll have a feel for what you can and can't jump through them. But without playing the game, it's kind of hard to explain, but trust me when I say it can be annoying, but it's definitely not a game breaker. Speaking of annoying, the last boss. Holy shit. The last boss. Anyone who has played this game knows how hard this boss is. It took me an hour straight to kill this fucker. And throughout the whole ordeal, very little fun was had. It should be noted that the game can be played with a friend, which I'm sure would have made the fight a bit easier, but without anyone to play with, I was stuck on this fight for a while. The payoff and excitement I had when beating the final boss was short-lived, as I came to this screen. Bad end. This is not a true ending. Take the magical crystal ball, and you will find the door to the secret road. As it turns out, this game is noted as one of the very first games with multiple endings, and I got the worst one! It seems like even back then they had trouble making multiple endings that were good. Something that even we have yet to perfect. Mass Effect. But you know what? I'm not that upset. I had a fantastic time playing this game. Despite getting the worst ending, it's a game that I can still come back to. Either if it's to get a new high score or playing with a friend, when I get one. Or even playing secret levels or the new Game Plus mode. There's hours and hours of fun to be had here. It's a game that I picked up for the adorable cover art, but it's a game that I love because of the great gameplay. Hey, I'm Chris Jewett and I made this video. If you'd like to see more content in the future, please leave a like and a comment, as it's your guys' positive feedback that inspires me to make more. And if you liked the intro, why not check out the rest of Freddy Sal's content by clicking here. And if you like your eardrums tickled, then why not check out Jason Stevens, who did the Morgan Freeman voice, by clicking the description below. You could also like us on Facebook. That'd be chill too.